Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Wingate Solutions. I hope you're doing well. I'm out in the woods today doing a little training, carbine and handgun maintenance drills, so I figured I'd bring you along. Hopefully you guys get something out of it. Thanks for tuning in. All right, guys. So I'm going to start with a fun drill. Some of you might already know of it. It's by the Achilles heel guys, the man card drill. So AHT man card drill. It's fun. It should be done based on their standard at one of their courses, cold start, on demand in front of your peers. So no warm up. You're just getting right after it. So to be honest with you guys, obviously I don't have peers here. I'm not at one of their courses. I'm just using it as a baseline for me. And it isn't technically a cold start for me. I've already done some cold start stuff. Not really cold start. I've done a few warm up shots already today. Because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to put on camera. So I was just kind of shooting around. So then I was like, you know what? Let's do the Achilles heel man card. But I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you that this is cold for me. I haven't been shooting a lot lately, so I am pretty sloppy. So we'll see if I even get past it, even not being cold. So I have a couple rounds already downrange. So anyway, Achilles heel man card drill, pretty awesome. Only 6 rounds total. If you pass each iteration in one round or one go around, you get 2 chances per iteration. So you fail the drill as soon as you fail 2 in a row, if that makes sense. 25 yards C-zone steel, and it's real simple. It's working isolated fundamentals, pretty much works most things except for recoil management, and doesn't really work follow through too much because it's only 1 round per rep. But it's still a good baseline. It's quick. It's something you can do to kind of track where you are at any given day. It's a good start to your range day, just to kind of see where you are. And they call it performance on demand, and I really like that mindset of doing something on demand. But anyway, I'm going to do it right now, and we'll start with it. I'll just kind of walk through it as I go, kind of tell you guys the steps. But the first one, it's all going to be done on a timer. If you don't have a shot timer, you should get one. And I'll do videos on that in the future specifically, but set it up on delay so that you don't know when the beep's coming. First one is 1 round from the holster, 2nd and a half. So see where I'm at. Okay, that's a 140, so I passed that stage. Now, for the sake of my training, because this isn't an actual cold start, I kind of want to see where I'm at. I am going to do 2 iterations per, but if I pass one, technically I'm moving on to the next stage, if that makes sense. I just want to get a little more reps in, so I'm going to see where I'm at for 1 more of those. And no cheating, hands off the holster, retentions in the positions it should be in, so you're not defeating those hoods or that retention before you draw. So make sure you're not cheating. Use the holster in the way that you have to use it. All right, anyway, I'm going to do that again, just again for my reps. Okay. Passed it, 133, a little low on steel. My index on the pistol felt a little off, so that just shows my inconsistency. I still made time a little faster, and I still got a hit. It was a little low, favoring left edge. So anyway, I technically passed twice in a row. So move on to the next one. The next one is going to be high compressed ready. So you draw to basically the stage of the draw where you're marrying your hands together. So you're forming your grip and you're just presenting out from that position. 1 round, 1 second. All right, let's do it. Okay, that was a hit in a 0.89, so I passed, but I'm gonna do it again. Okay, 0.82, again, I passed it. I can say I jerked that one. So it is low left. Now that can be for 2 reasons, and this is where I'm gonna kind of throw some tips and tricks in as we go. Big piece of steel, right? I technically got a hit for the standard of this drill, but it was really low left. Now there's 2 reasons. At the end of the day, it's where your sights or your dot was when you press the round. So you either disrupted the sight process or the gun as you're pressing, or that's just where the gun was in the first place. And I can usually tell, especially running red dots, if I just have an acceptable area where the dot lands, like let's say the dot lands here, and I'm okay with that from the distance I'm at, I'm just going to press the trigger right there. And if it hits there, well, I didn't miss low left. I hit low left because that's where my dot was purposely. Does that make sense? I'm choosing to not refine the dot to center mass, right? The issue though is when you actually are trying to hit center mass and you're yanking low left, you're jerking, or you're anticipating low left, or the third issue could be your dot's actually not zeroed. But there is a difference. So I can say that specific shot, I absolutely jerked the trigger, jerked it low left. It wasn't because it was an acceptable shot, sight picture, and I chose to shoot there. I had a pretty good sight picture, refined flash dot, if that even makes sense, high center mass, and I yanked it low left. So that's a cool thing about having a red dot. And if you're really focusing on your fundamentals and what you're doing, you're not just going out blasting, you're trying to actually refine things, you can pick up a lot of what you're doing right and wrong based on what the red dot does. So just something to think about. Anyway, now I'm moving to rifle. All right, we'll get this thing loaded up real quick. Okay. All right. So rifle, 1 second from a low pressed or a low ready position. So rifle is mounted in the shoulder and you're at about a 45-degree angle. Again, 1 second. Okay, 0.97, so I barely got it. I was a little slow on my presentation. We'll do it again though, just for fun. Cool. And it didn't pick that one up because my gun's suppressed, but it was definitely under that second. I felt faster than my other one. It was probably like a 0.8 or something like that. Anyway, sometimes this can doesn't, the shots don't get picked up when I'm using this can. Anyway, so now I'm going to do a tactical mag exchange with an empty mag. So I have one round in the chamber. I'm going to stow that mag. So you should have an empty mag in the gun. This is going to create lockback after that first round for our transition. It's 1 round rifle, 1 round pistol. I choose to manipulate the safety or attempt to whenever I need a transition. There's going to be different schools of thought on that. For the man card drill, they don't specify that you have to. Obviously, if guys want to just game it and they're just really pushing for raw speed, they're just going to leave it off safe. I don't find that it really adds time in real life. So I'm going to train the way I want to work on the manipulations. I'm going to ingrain it in my head that I'm going to use the safety. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, we'll see if it creates any type of hiccup for me. And this is definitely the most challenging for guys. It's 2.5 seconds. It's really just adding the 1-shot rifle and then the 1-shot from the holster pistol together to get that 2.5 with adding the manipulation of the rifle in there. So we'll see where I'm at. Stand by. All right. So say it took me a while to find that dot on that handgun. So I ended up failing at a 270. I would have passed. My presentation had my dot like 2 feet off the right edge, and that really jacked me up. So I'm going to do it one more time, see if I can get it. So now I'm going to do a tac mag exchange with a mag that has bullets in it. Hit the bolt release, and then do another exchange. So I have that empty mag still in the gun, if that makes sense for you guys. And we'll do that again. One more time to see if I can redeem myself. Oh man. And I had a miss, so I did a follow-up just for fun. So I missed that one out of 310. So today, my cold start, well, I already told you guys it wasn't a cold start. My first drill of the day, I technically failed that standard. Now I know I need to work on those rifle to handgun transitions a little more. So cool. Why don't we do that? All right. I'm going to work on those rifle to handgun transitions just for a minute, a couple reps. If you see the camera moving and I'm shooting in the direction of the camera, don't get worried. There's no one behind the camera. I don't have a cameraman. I have this thing on some fancy tracking gimbal so it can track the center of me. It's pretty cool. It's just like a Bluetooth device. Anyway, I don't have a camera, or a cameraman. That's the best you got. But I'm not pointing a gun at anybody, so don't get worried. All right, let's do a few more rounds of those transitions. I'm going to go kind of just for efficiency, not for speed. Let's do it. Okay, cool. So that was pretty slowed down for a 315. Now I'm going to do a tack mag exchange just to get this thing back up and ready for the rep again. All right, let's do it. One more. Hit it, but barely, for 285. That one felt good for 277. Let's see. Now I'm going to do a few. What am I doing? I'm going to do a couple trying to get to that 2.5 time. Now that I've done a few, I'm a little more polished. Again, clearly not a cold start at this point. I'm now just working on those inefficiencies of the transition. I did that for a few minutes. Now I'm going to kind of put it together and see where I'm at, see if I'd be able to get that time standard now, which we'll see. All right, let's get after it. Okay, a little sloppy, but a 248, so I technically passed it. And that's what I mean by, sure, I passed the standard. How consistently can I do that at that speed? And do I lose my fundamentals or lose my, efficiency of movement? Do I just get sloppy and fall off the wagon pretty much? I don't know. Kind of how I feel because I haven't been training this much recently. Like I passed that rep technically if I was doing this as a cold start, but I still wasn't happy with how goofy I felt like I was moving. Let's do it again. Try to be a little more efficient. Okay, that one was okay. Pistol presentation was a little jacked up, but I got a 257, so technically fail. Let's do it again. Miss. My oops, this will be the last time I do this one. My crosshair was just over the right shoulder as I pressed the round. So that was just me rushing, getting on the trigger a little too quick and having a bad presentation with the rifle. But it's a 265 total. Let's do, this is the last one. Last one. That one felt pretty good. Let's see. 238. I passed it, that one. So that was an example of everything coming together for that last rep. I felt really smooth. I can't say I did for all the other ones. That one felt good. So if I can then polish that and then replicate that, dry fire that a lot more if I put the time in, or just come out here and just get more warm-up reps and reps doing that in general. More presentation just with the pistol, isolate that. More presentations just with the rifle, isolate that. And then put them both together. I would start to build up the efficiency of the whole package, if that makes sense. And then from there, do multiple rounds, random round counts. Again, add stoppages, things like that in there. Sky's the limit. We're just trying to work on efficiencies. And it's kind of, I don't want to say advanced stuff to be pushing this stuff like this, but it kind of is. So do not be discouraged at all if you are not able to complete something like the man card drill. It doesn't matter. Do the same drill, but find a time standard that works for you, right? If you can do the 1 second or 1 round on steel with the pistol in, let's just say, start out doing it in 4 seconds if you're new to this, right? And don't lose fundamentals for the speed. Make sure you're still not getting sloppy. Try to be efficient. So at whatever speed you need to do that in the beginning, do it at whatever speed works for you. As you build that efficiency, you will start to build the speed, and you'll kind of learn what you can and can't get away with as far as sight picture, things like that. That just comes with time. So start with having either higher time standards and or move up closer and have a bigger target, that sort of thing. That's what I'd recommend you do if you're just getting into this. But again, don't get discouraged. It's a really cool standard to be able to pass. And it's also not like the highest of standards, but it's not a thing that I would spend all of my time working on, if that makes sense. So anyway, moving on. All right, let's do some bill drill. 6 rounds. I'm at 7 yards. I have a cardboard target up. I'm shooting for that A zone, hopefully more upper A zone than anything. I'm only at 7 yards, so I should hold myself to some kind of decent standard like that. So anyway, let's see where I'm at for time. Okay, 296, so not the fastest. They're all in there. I'll check the cardboard so you guys can see in a minute. But you can just trust me for a minute. All right, let's do that again. Okay, looks like I have 1 on the line, but still in. And oop, that was lucky. I got 1 more. For a 264, so I sped that up pretty good. Let's do that again. Okay. 239 clean. I kept them all in that high up ray zone. And actually, I'll show you guys that now. Grab a marker and mark it. All right. All right, so that one is out, just outside. Wasn't a line breaker for my second iteration. The rest of these are all good. Cool. All right, bill drill, 7 yards, 4 time. Okay. Oh, that one's out too. 246, so pretty good time. And I have 1 just outside. I think it was my first round. I didn't have acceptable enough of a sight picture just outside the A zone. Still an effective shot for real world purposes, but not for the standards I'm trying to get today. I'm going to do 1 more, try to make it clean and around that same time. Let's get after it. Okay. 256 clean. I had 1 that's a little lower in the A zone than I was looking for. Right here. And this was that one that I missed on that other one. So yeah, everything else is in there. I'll take it. Bill drills are a lot of fun. You work on a lot, right? One of the main things you work on is grip and recoil control, seeing if your grip falls apart under multiple shot strings. Anybody can shoot 1 round or even 2, even with a poor grip, and be pretty effective. When you start getting into multiple shot strings like 6, it really does show whether or not you're gripping the gun or if you're real sloppy. Obviously, your presentation has to be spot on, especially if you're trying to get that first round off quickly and not getting out there for 5 minutes before you let off 6 rounds. The idea is you're still getting after it at an acceptable pace for the distance you're at, right? So being 7 yards, pretty close, pretty easy shots. You really can get after it. Now, again, don't get discouraged if you're not in that same like speed, and maybe you don't have the same cadence of your trigger presses. No big deal. Work up to it. I'd rather see somebody do this drill really clean 1,000,000 times and incrementally have performance gains in time than see you just get sloppy just to get 1 cool rep for like Instagram or whatever, right? That doesn't prove anything. So I encourage you to shoot this clean and then push yourself incrementally. So get a shot timer, it'll help you out. Cool, moving on. All right, busting out one of my SPRs. This is an 18-inch and got a nice fresh coat of paint on it. And I am trying out the Arkin LH4. Paid for with my own money, not like a review or a sponsor or any of that stuff. I'm just messing around with this. I figured I'd let you guys know it's one of the optics that I'm kind of playing around with. And it's a very budget-friendly 4-16. Glass is pretty good. I really like having capped turrets on this style of rifle, especially when it has a Christmas tree reticle in it. That's what I'm mostly using, is the hold features in that. And so far, so good. Definitely not a lot of eye relief on it, but glass is clear, and I like it so far. I'll let you guys know as I use it more and as I test. I do a review on it in the future. Anyway, I'm using this. I'm going to do a 7-yard bill drill with this guy. I'm going to be using the topped out, though, not the 4-power. Not that it can't be done, but that's why I have a topped out on it. Cool. See what it can do. I think that was only 5. All right, so yeah, only 5 rounds for that rep for a 1.58. So I'm going to do 6 this time. I have 6 in this mag. I'm going to do it one more time, see where I'm at. Kind of big, chunky build. Shoots real flat, real easy to shoot. I love rifle length 18-inch guns. They're awesome. All right, let's do it. Cool. That's a 1.68. All clean, all good. All right, and just for fun, I'm going to do another bill drill with the GPR. So see how that goes. 7 yards. No big deal. Getting a little sluggish. This guy's pretty dirty. All right. Let's see where I'm at. Probably not going to pick up all the rounds, but that's all right. And 1.68. Try that again. .168 again. But it's only picking up 3 of them, so I'm assuming that was the last round, but it could have been longer than that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Bill drills are just fun. It's fun to do. And, yep, I am definitely getting in the way of my slide release because I have been having failure to lock back a lot lately. I think I'm going to try out one of the CAGWorks raised extended slide releases. I just have big hands. I shoot real aggressively. I don't want to change my support hand because it's not my thumbs. It's actually my palm that's keeping it from locking back. I just got, full-size hands. That was a 2.71. They're all in there. That was a kind of a average pace. I could have really got after a little bit and probably got a little sloppy, but that was a nice smooth pace that I could shoot that at. So I'm happy with that. I'm all right with that. All right. For this next one, I'm going to be working on throttle control. And kind of what I mean by that is understanding when you can get away with an acceptable sight picture or when you have to refine your sight picture. That doesn't necessarily mean slow down, but it may. And that's going to be also dependent on the individual and distance, target size, everything like that. So I'm going to be I have this cardboard target right in front of me, 5 yards. I'm going to shoot 2 rounds A zone with a little bit of urgency. Again, acceptable sight picture. So as long as my dot falls within that A zone, I'm pressing trigger. And then I'm going to transition to the 25-yard reduced C zone and shoot one into that. So it's not that challenging, but what it's doing is it kind of is forcing me to throttle control, refine my sight picture for that last shot. It's also working different distances. I'm also working different targets or target transitions, even though it's kind of right above the cardboard one because it's kind of up the hill a little bit. So it's not that much of a target transition, but it still is technically. So that's kind of cool. So it'll be tracking your sight as you're moving from target to target. So it works a lot of different things during this one rep. So let's do that. 2 to the body of this one, and then 1 to the steel. I'll probably change it up between that reduced C zone and the C zone. So that'll be a little more of a swing. So I'll add that into it. It'll be 2 here, 1 there, and then I'll switch it up for the next rep. Cool. Let's do it. Okay. Both hits were good, and the hit on steel was good. It wasn't very loud, but I could see where it hit. So if that was a 212, so I'm gonna do it on the next seal now. Miss. Oh man, miss again. So that was pretty bad. That was a perfect example of not using throttle control appropriately, right? So I had a sloppy index on my handgun, so my grip was a little off. Didn't feel right. So presentation was a little jacked up. 2 shots were still fine. I'm at this distance, and I still had a good enough grip. Those 2 rounds were perfectly fine. I transitioned to that more refined steel. Even though it is a big chunky piece of steel, I did not get a refined sight picture. I didn't even have acceptable enough of a sight picture. My dot was off the right edge. Boom, I jerked trigger. Well, I probably actually had a perfectly clean break, but my dot was off, so I missed. Did a reload, and then I just missed again instead of pumping the brakes just a little bit to make sure I had a refined picture. And then I cleaned it up for the 3rd one, so no big deal. We all miss. We all work at this stuff in training. That's how you get better. Push yourself to miss at training. Figure out where your breaking point is. So anyway, let's keep doing it. I think I'm good on rounds for a minute. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this thing keeps locking back for me or not, too. Let's do it. Okay. So that was first round, just outside of the A and the C zone, about ½ an inch. So that was a miss, hit, and then a good hit on steel. So just so you guys know. Do it again, but I'm going to switch up to that steel. Okay, cool. And locked back for me. That's good. 437. Let's do that again. Okay. And I had 1 in the Charlie here as well, so I'm just rushing a little too much. I need to slow down a tad or just do it better at the speed I'm doing it. Let's do it again. So that was a lot smoother for a 228. All right, guys, that's kind of going to wrap it up. I appreciate you coming along with this random range session I did. I know it's kind of off the cuff, kind of wanted to come out and do a little shooting. So hopefully you got something out of it, and appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe, hit that like button, that thumbs up button, share it with your buddies, and consider throwing me a comment down below. I really enjoy reading them, and that's about it. If you want to check out our website, head over there. Link down in the description. We have our homemade rifle slings and sling retention straps. And hopefully within a week or so, I'll be officially releasing my holster leg straps as well. So stay tuned for that. If I release a video, that pretty much means they're available. So I'll put out a video for it. That'll be your way of knowing. Or follow me over on Instagram. I'll put a post over there so you guys are staying in the loop. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, get out and train.